It is a game of inches. Is it going to be the Dolphins inches or is it going to be the Patriots inches? Tight times up in Foxborough. Looked like the Patriots scored a touchdown with just a little over a minute left. It would have been 15-16, but the touchdown was called back. They say the guy did not get 2 feet in. It is now 15-10 with 1 minute left. 4th and 10, Patriots in the red zone. Logic would say neither of these teams are really good at offense. And how Jacoby Brissett going to get you? As a Dolphins fan, you're going, eesh. We're running the play right now. 4th and 10, 15-10, Dolphins lead 1 minute. Patriots on the 12-yard line. And there's yet another flag. How you doing, by the way? I am Dan Day with my cousin Vladimir Lewisson. If you're a Dolphins fan right now, logically, you should be saying, I feel good. We're okay. But you're probably not. You're probably going, oh, God, we're going to find a way to lose this game. How is Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots going to do it? But logically, Jacoby Brissett, Gerard Mayo, their head coach, rookie head coach, your defense has been good. It's 4th and 15 now. 1 minute left. Logically, you feel good. Once again, as a Dolphins fan, and they're getting ready to snap the play. And the play is off. And good pressure. Jacoby Brissett throws off his back foot. The ball is incomplete. And it looks like
no flags.
The Dolphins will win this game. I was waiting for that. Thank you very much. The Dolphins look like they are most likely going to win this game now, up 15-10. They have the ball with 55 seconds left. The Patriots do have 3 timeouts, though, and this Dolphins team never ceases to amaze us, at least this season. So we're going to hold on a little bit for another 55 seconds. That was a bad pass. That pass looked like a Jacoby Brissett pass. It was about 5 yards overthrown into double coverage. 2 guys in the end zone. Miami Dolphins hanging tough. Is this a case where the Dolphins are getting a little bit healthier and a little bit better? Never mind, Devon Achane left the game with a concussion and Javon Holland left the game with a bad hand. Is this a case of the Dolphins getting a little bit healthier and a little bit better? Or is this the case of a bad Dolphins team being better than a bad New England Patriots team? I don't know. 2nd down now. 47 seconds left. New England Patriots elect to call a timeout. Oh, nothing easy in this league. Today, not the most beautiful game. Snoop Huntley at times looked, I guess at best, is that fair to say, Vad? Okay. At times you looked okay. I'm saying at best.
Yeah, because I mean, for a guy who only joined the team not too long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, he looked better. He got the ball to Tyreek. He was you could tell
they threw it down the field a little bit.
Right, but the running game, bro, the running game has been great so far in this game. Both guys have combined to go over 140 yards, and they each have 70 yards each. Mostert and Jalen Wright.
Because remember, Devon Achane had the concussion.
Because of the running game, and shout out to Alec Ingold, man. He's been busting his ass. He's got to be tired.
Interesting. Is that maybe the new identity of this team? It's what we have. We have Alec Ingold, fullback, blocking. Raheem Mostert did seem like he gave a shot of life to this team. And Jalen Wright being a tough, fast, physical back. This might be right now not the answer to all of our problems, but an answer to some of our problems. This team might just have to be a physical, grinded out, running team.
Well, if they have to be physical, I mean, that will be new, but their whole the reason why, because the whole success of this offense has always been the running game.
Right.
Last year they were a top 5 running game early on until December when the injuries started to happen, and you could tell by the insertion of Raheem Mostert back in the lineup that the running game took off, and because it took off, it's pretty much may lead to a Dolphin victory or something that they haven't had since week 1.
He looks like a leader. He looks like he's running hard. He looks like he's trying to ignite and lead this team. It just looked like this team was a little tougher, a little more obviously knowledgeable. Snoop Huntley actually had a couple of more days to study and learn. It is now 4th and 1 with 41 seconds left. The Dolphins most likely will punt. If you've been watching this game, hold your breath. There's been blocked punts. There's been missed field goals. There's been bad snaps. There's been all types of craziness. But once again, logically, if you're a Dolphins fan, you have to believe you get this punt off, and Jacoby Brissett and New England's not going to drive the field in 41 seconds are a large part of the field. But once again, we hold our breath because we are Dolphins fans and we know anything is possible. The punt is off. I'm guessing they will try to return it. Oh, no. Let's wait for it. It looks like he's not going to get too far, but they're going to be around the 45-yard line. So they got 55 yards to go in 29 seconds. Once again, logically, if you're a Dolphins fan, you should be feeling okay. But if you are a Dolphins fan, you're probably saying, Gameday, stop. Just stop. It's Jacoby Brissett. 6 career game-winning drives. Did you know that? Jacoby Brissett has a game-winning drive, much less 6 career game-winning drives. Last time was November 2017, but nonetheless, the Dolphins have been decent on defense. I have to give credit. Zach Sealer and Calais Campbell and Emmanuel Agba, they continued their very good play. I'm not going to say stellar, but good play. Secondary's been okay. Then again, it's Jacoby Brissett throwing passes out there. They're dropping back. And they had him in the grasp, and he got away. And did they complete that pass down the field? Yes, that completed to the 35-yard line.
Well, they're going to have 2 plays, I think, for the end zone.
Oh, yeah, they have no timeouts. The clock tick, 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 tick. 12. Oh, okay. So, yep, you get probably 12 seconds. It is now 2nd and 10, but really 2nd and touchdown because they're down, remember, 15-10. They need a touchdown to win this game. I'm not going to go through the scenarios because it scares me to even think about the possible scenarios that could be happening in this game. We're just going to hope our defense can hold, and Anthony Weaver has got something dialed up to stop this not so stellar New England Patriots offense, not so stellar New England Patriots defense, although the defense for them has been pretty solid. But the 2 teams' defenses have definitely been on display today. 2 lowest scoring teams in the league, by the way, and they proved it today. Right now, it's 15-10. Hopefully, no more points will be allowed in this game as Jacoby Brissett is bleeding the play clock. Now, with 10 seconds left, he is looking deep. He is throwing deep. That is caught at the 10-yard line, but there's 3, 2, 1. Bad job, Jacoby Brissett. That was a stupid play to not get out of bounds. Dolphins win on what you would expect the game to end on, Vlad. A very, what? What are you doing? Throwing to the middle of the field, basically, to a guy who was relatively open, but with 10 yards left to spare. Not a great job. Not a great job. Not a great game. I'll be honest. Not a great game. But if you're a Dolphins fan,
I got the win, man.
2nd place also in the AFC East, by the way, with that win. Tied for 2nd place.
Okay. I was about to say.
Because the Jets, they did lose earlier today over in jolly old London, England. They lost by 7 to Minnesota Vikings.
6. We lost by 6.
6. Okay. Get a win.
Not that it means anything. But yeah.
Tyler Huntley, we're going to get to a scoreboard later on, but Tyler Huntley gets his first win as a Dolphin. The Tyler Huntley era is off to a
Hey, Dolphin fans, you know what? Start. I don't want to see any negative comments, man. Y'all got to win. It's the first time you've won since week 1.
Yeah.
The first time to be happy about anything Dolphin related since
before
the Buffalo game. So enjoy this. Yes,
Look,
you won with your 3rd string quarterback, maybe your 4th string quarterback. You won with your 4th string quarterback.
Look, let's just enjoy this while we have it. Let's not get too crazy, too angry, too upset. You won, and that's what's important. You go in there and you find a way to win. You're 2-3 now. 2-3. Once again, now you're going into an open date, so you have a little bit of time. Then you're going to play the Indianapolis Colts, who were, last I checked, losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars today. So once again, today, a winnable game. You won. Not next week, but the 2 weeks from today, a winnable game against the Colts. You win. All of a sudden, you're 3-3. And guess who might be coming back?
But that's what I'm saying. Your bye week's next week. You didn't want to go into a bye with a loss. However you needed to get that win and work out all the kinks. You start getting fresh bodies back. Be happy with this win.
And by the way, the Texans just defeated the Buffalo Bills on a last-second field goal. So now you're 1 game behind Buffalo, but they have the tiebreaker.
Right, but guess what? They lost. They're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yes.
Whoever loses the Jets-Buffalo game next week, you know what I mean? You may be a half game ahead of them. So, yes.
Feel good.
Things were looking bad for the last 3 weeks. Things are now finally, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Good.
Yes, it was an ugly win, but I've never heard anybody getting props for pretty losses.
You know what? It doesn't matter. A win's a win is a win is a win. I'll come to you in 3 years from now and be like, "Hey, do you remember that 15-10 Dolphins Patriots game?" You'll say, "I mean, sort of. We won. We won 15-10." You're not going to say, "Well, really, the offense struggled. Snoop Huntley didn't have the greatest game, although he did pass for over 200 yards." And be like, "The running backs really, really led the way. Raheem Mostert reinsertion into the lineup, and Jalen Wright got going." You're not going to remember all that. You're going to remember, it was a tough game, but we won 15-10. That's all that matters.
Guys,
Get the
you know
win.
what I'm saying? Like, you like when fans like that, it's just like, yo, y'all ridiculous, man. Not everything's gonna be a 30-0 game. You're playing with your fourth string quarterback.
Yeah,
Like,
and he does look like he's still trying to learn the playbook and the
right.
plays. I mean, and it's complicated. It's like throwing someone in there, but they did look a little bit more like themselves. They got back to the running game. Raheem Mostert, I thought, was a true shot in the arm. Jalen Wright, I like what he did in preseason. Physical, fast back. Started getting the ball a little bit more downhill to the likes of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and it seemed like they made it kind of an effort to get to Jonnu Smith, the tight end, involved a little bit. Nonetheless, Dolphins get the win. 15-10. Man, it started off at first. I thought the first drive, if you watched it, Vlad, I thought that the offense kind of looked like, not that it was rolling, but it looked more like itself. They, of course, got a field goal out of it, kind of stalled out, but they looked a little bit more like itself. They looked like they had a little bit more of an identity. And I was like, the team's getting a little more healthier. They're starting to figure things out. Teron Armstead is back. He says he's healthy. He's blocking. Odell Beckham Jr., he played his first game. He didn't catch any passes. Nonetheless,
Fleeced.
He's back. He's on the team, man. He's getting back into shape. Kind of just looked like you knew what you were doing. And then there's the interception that we threw an interception. They got a touchdown. That's okay.
And here's the other thing, Dan. Who's that? This division is not as great as everybody thought it was going to be. Whether it's because of play, injuries, what every team has or have issues that they're dealing with. So the fact of the matter is, you're 1-1 in the division. You're 2-3. You're going into your bye, and chances are you're going to get your starting quarterback back.
You've won a game on the road in New England. Yeah, and there's a chance that come Arizona 3 weeks from now, you get Tua Tagovailoa back. Once again, optimism, maybe, not the greatest of optimism. Yes, the play hasn't been very good, but hey, you got one. Now you got a winnable game against Indianapolis. Most likely you'll be
playing. I don't know if it's winnable. Indianapolis is they got Waka Flocka Flames.
Yeah, they got Waka Flocka by a winless Jacksonville Jaguar team. A lot of people thought was the worst team.
Wait, they lost?
Yeah, it's over.
Was it by a field goal?
By 3. Yeah,
come on, whatever.
Whatever.
They covered.
We won by a field goal. Oh, okay. Well, that's what's important. 37-34. Goodness gracious, a shootout. Of course, we're going to get the scoreboard as it goes. Yeah, Raheem Mostert. Alec Ingold, by the way, you got to give him props.
Oh, man.
Probably gets the game ball. We'll get the game ball out later on, but probably going to get a game ball. Just a little hint, player of the game, possibly. I mean, he did work. Even the guys on TV were talking about how much. Just follow Alec Ingold. He will lead you to where the ball is about to go. And he got the touch at the end. He scored the winning touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. The only touchdown of the day for the Miami Dolphins. Rewarding all of his hard work. Raheem Mostert, Jalen Wright. Got to worry now about Devon Achane. You knew the second he got hit and he wasn't moving that well, you knew it was going to be a concussion because that's the way that things go with the Dolphins. I saw Javon Holland when he got rolled up on, but kind of like Jalen Ramsey, and he was just laying there, and I was like, number 8's probably not coming back.
Remember what
either.
I said when we thought Polk scored that go-ahead touchdown? I was like, yeah, there was no Holland there. Like that was an open play. But
it's going to be interesting what the NFL says about that play.
No, I mean, they went over it. All touchdowns are
reviewed, especially in the last 2 minutes.
Now, we didn't have the volume on, so we didn't know what was going on. So obviously the callers and the listeners will, but hey man, it's a road win. You showed heart, you showed that you have some, toughness. And Jason Sanders, he kicked all right, but a couple of misses there.
Yeah.
At least you saw the offense move against a pretty good defense.
Yeah, it's a pretty good defense. Let's give New England credit where credit is due. Their defense is solid. They always hang their hat on that. That's their type. And you know what? You played their style of game, whether you wanted to or not. You kind of had to. But they're the grind it out, try to win it at the end of the game type of team. They realize their personnel. They got Jacoby Brissett. We were going after him, nailing him. A lot of people are saying that's why Drake May isn't playing, because they're going to basically be feeding him to the wolves. Jacoby Brissett stood in there, made some really bad passes, not a lot of good passes, but got good pressure. Defense has been solid. You get it. Special teams were pretty bad. You had the missed field goal. You had the bad snap field goal. You had the blocked punt. You had that one snap. And it just seemed like both teams, once they kind of got near scoring position, just started going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, listen, it's like every time you take 2 steps forward, it was like
3 steps back.
3 steps back for both teams.
Yeah.
You know, if the first 4 weeks was preseason, then yeah, this is week 1 of what the regular season would look like after a legitimate 4 weeks of preseason that you guys played. But nonetheless, it's a win. I don't care how you get it. Just be happy with it.
Yeah.
It's better than losing and then knowing that you lost and you played like crap. At least with a win and playing like crap, you're going to figure out, hey, we can get better. We're going to play much better than this. And when we do, the wins will look a little bit more dominating.
You know the rules in the pros. There are no cheap wins.
There are no cheap wins, and there's no pretty losses. I've never heard of you getting props for a pretty loss.
I've never celebrated
that's a beautiful loss.
Never celebrated a loss, especially in the pros. Has anyone ever gone out there and be like, oh, well, we look really good in that loss. What a way to go. I'm happy with it. No. You play who you play. And then, yeah, you see some of these teams blowing out other teams. You're like, why can't we be more like that? Well, that's just not the nature of the game. The Bears, 36-10 over the Panthers. You can't always have that. It's not always the way these games go. Washington looks good too. Commanders got a big win today too. For some reason, the score is eluding me.
They just won big. I think they won 37-7.
Yes, it's like, but that's an anomaly. Usually there are tight games. There are good games.
No, well, today were a lot of tight games. If you're looking right now, there's an overtime game between Baltimore and Cincinnati, and nobody wants to lose that game because you don't want to. Baltimore doesn't want to go 2-3.
It's also division,
and Cincinnati doesn't want to go to 1-4.
Right, and a division game.
And it's a division game, like you said. So yeah, bro. 34-13, Washington beat Cleveland.
Derrick Henry only has 34 yards on the game. Is that correct? That can't be right.
You've done a good job of stopping him on the run, but the stats for the Dolphins game is not pretty.
We'll get to it.
But you got the win. Great job by the defense.
30 yards. Yep.
Great job. Well, you have him in your fantasy team?
No. I for some reason, I saw him score a touchdown earlier. I figured after the game he had against Buffalo that he'd have a big game. So, well, we'll see. We're going to get to your calls later on. 305-567-0560. One touchdown from Alec Ingold. Basically the difference in the game. Dolphins win 15-10. They defeat the New England Patriots, who now, after that first win of the season against the Bengals, are now 1-4. We are 2-3. Very excited about that. We're happy. We won. That's all you ask for. Dolphins win. Let's get ready for an off week. Get even more healthy, look more like ourselves, take on an Indianapolis Colts team that is defeatable, and feel good about ourselves.